welcome to Nightbreed.
Thanks,
How's
man.
how's tonight treating you, man? All good?
Yeah, not too bad, dude. Just chilling out tonight. Day
Yeah,
off
nice.
tomorrow, so
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, of
What about
course,
yourself?
yeah. Yeah, it's been good, man. Some music stuff, chilling. It's all good, yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
So
So you're a
I
drummer?
well, I play guitar as
I just
well. I
noticed.
think you see the
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Actually,
yeah, cool. I just saw the drum kit.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I'm only a recent drummer. It's the last 3 years. I've played guitar since a teenager. I've just kind of picked up the
Mm,
drums. How about yourself? Like, have you
sick.
always been stuck to the one instrument, or are you kind of doing other things? Or?
Yeah, just guitar, man. I learned a little bit of piano as a kid,
Yeah,
but
nice.
once I started learning guitar, that's it. I stuck with that. I've had a go at other instruments, and I just feel too too amateur to spend the time on it. So
That's cool,
yeah,
man.
I'm happy. I'm happy with guitar, man.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. Guitar offers a lot,
Yeah,
It's good, yeah.
that's it.
Um, I guess my first question is like 2020. How did Ashen first, kick off?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've known the guys in Ashen for most of them for about 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, cool.
Three of us used to play in a band together called Vespers Descent. It's like
Mm,
sort of like melodic death metal kind of
yeah.
stuff. So that was Ben, Richard, and myself were in that band. Over the years, we've sort of done other things and been in other bands, and we were working in a band together called Burial Ground in Perth here, which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
we had a different drummer and then we had another guitar player, and we still had Josh in the band. So I've been playing with Josh in a couple of bands for probably about the last 5 years or so,
Mm,
and we had some members leave Burial Ground, and we just thought we would just start again. Um, and we changed the name, and we got drum. Ben came and started playing drums for us, and we just stuck to being a four piece. And that's pretty much where it's at. So we started writing new material, changed the name, and just sort of went in I guess a bit of a different direction, just stripped things down a bit, and
mm.
yeah, that's where we're at now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, did any of the burial ground riffs or ideas kind of carry over into Ashen, or you kind of start afresh?
Um, I think there was one song off our EP, which yeah, that was the last song, Inferno, on the last song on our EP was a very different song. That was a part of the burial ground sort of stuff, and then when Ben came into the band, I think we just sort of retooled the song, pulled a bunch of bits out, and that's what it is now.
Yeah, nice, cool. And
Yeah,
yeah, that first EP, Godless Oath, that came out through Bitter Lost Records, right? How'd you get together with Rob and everything?
yeah. I think I believe we were just sort of sending some stuff around. I think Richard made contact with him first,
Yeah.
and then Rob showed some interest and asked for a meeting, and we sat down and had a couple of beers together, and just sort of went from there. I guess we sort of when we first started putting songs out, we never planned to actually put out a release as such. We were never going to do an EP or an album or anything like that. We were just a bunch of friends putting
Mm,
some songs that we thought were cool together, and we were just going to release tracks here and there as they were finished.
yeah.
And then after sitting down with Rob, he said he would like a release to be able to put out. So we
Mm,
put 5 songs together, and
yeah.
for the for the EP, and that's how that started. And then the deal with Rob is two releases. So it's an EP and an album, and we've just obviously just released the album. So
Yeah, got it right
that's,
here.
oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
you already got one.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thanks, dude.
No, that's good one, yeah. So how the what's the writing process like? Like are you sort of all working together or is one person kind of spearheading that thing? How does that work for you guys?
We sort of all do come together for the song, but generally it starts off. I'll just be messing around with some riffs at home.
Mm,
So this is a bit of a home studio here, and I'll start off with some riffs or a couple of riffs that I think are cool, and I'll put something like a loose sketch of a song together. So I'll record some crappy program drums and
mm,
put some riffs down, and then I'll just send that to the guys, and if they like it, then we'll develop it. So
mm,
we'll usually what we'll do is there's a couple of ways we do things when we write is we sort of sit down and start recording some things, get a full song structure, and then we'll take that into the jam room, and then we'll play it and see how it feels, and then we'll sort of make tweaks there, because sometimes what you record doesn't always translate well to how it actually plays and how it feels to play.
Yeah.
And then so that's our pre-production process. Really is, I'll come up with some riffs, then we'll develop them into a song, and then we'll rehearse them for a while and tweak them a bit, and then record them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And you record with Shannon, right? At Overkill. How was that?
That's me.
Oh, there you go. Of course, Jesus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So no, I record everything, and then I do all the tracking and all that sort of stuff, and then we send it off into Sweden to get mixed and mastered by Studio MT, which is Marco Tervonen. He's the main man from the Crown there. So
yeah,
he does a really awesome job with that sort of stuff. He loves metal. He's a metalhead himself, obviously, and we sort of have a bit of a Swedish sound, and he seems, what better dude could you get to do it than a guy who plays in a Swedish death metal band? So
yeah, man, yeah,
that's it just worked out really well.
That's cool. So with that, like, what kind of like, you send him the tracks, like, is there any kind of guidance there, or are you kind of like, we sort of know what you're doing, or like, how's that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, I'll send him a shitty mix with some, and the reason for that is to give him a bit of an idea of how we want things to sit in the mix. There's a lot of communication between he and I, in between, as the process is happening. So, I'll send him, I want a bit more of this sound or a bit more of that sound, and then he'll send me back some snippets and say, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I'll be like, yeah, cool. Can we change this? Can we try that? And that's pretty much the process with every song. So the way we did the EP and the album is we sent off a song at a time, and then we just did it by that. So we had the whole album done. We just did a track at a time, and that way it was sort of, we're giving each song a good amount of attention before we were happy with it, rather than sending a whole album and then just being overwhelmed with 10 songs and trying to critique each one and make tweaks here and there. So that's how we went about that. He has a really good ear for sound, and just a very similar idea to, what I think sounds good is also what he thinks sounds good. So it's cool when that happens. Sometimes when you work with people, their ideas of how you should sound are very different to what you actually want it to sound like. But I think with Marco, you're very similar. That was just very fortunate, I think.
Yeah, cool. And then the cover artwork, you got Giannis from Greece on the cover. Did he do the EP as well? Is that the same artist?
Yeah. Sure is. Yeah, he did both of them. With the first one, the way it started is Richard made contact with him and said, look, we need an album cover, and this is, obviously we're sort of we have a bit of a 90s sound, I guess. We all grew up listening to that kind of stuff. So, we just write songs that we like, and it's not necessarily deliberately a old school death metal sound that we go for, but it's just our inclination, I guess. So Richard's, I guess, guidance to Giannis was, we want something that's very old school, very classic death metal kind of look, and he loves doing death metal covers, and he just ran with it, and that's what he came up with. So obviously we thought it was perfect, and we went with him again with the album, and same deal. We sent him a couple of tracks, said basically what we were after. There was a bit of back and forth, once we get the tracks. Once we get sends a draft of how he's going. It's like, what do you think? And we're like, yeah, cool. Can we have a bit more of this and a bit more of that? And he makes the tweaks, and that's how the album cover is now. It's the final one, obviously. He's just a really, really talented guy, and really nice dude to work with as well.
Yeah.
If you ever work with him, or he's just very accommodating.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, they come out well. It's good. So it definitely suits the music, like it's a good match.
Yeah, definitely. It's just it came together well, didn't it?
yeah, that's cool. And then you got some music videos. Ritual, the first track's got a music video with all the silhouettes and the red smoke and stuff. How did that come together? Like,
So that's Ryan from oh, no, not Ryan. Sorry, Joseph from Dark Spirit Photography.
oh,
He's done it. Pretty much any band that's got a film clip in Perth and WA, he's pretty much done it.
yeah,
He's really good at what he does. Very efficient, nice dude as well. Basically with that one, we wanted a pretty basic film clip. We didn't want too much acting or any of that stuff in it. Also, we didn't really want to be in it. We
yeah.
I hate being in fucking film clips. If you've ever done one before,
Mm.
it basically just you're miming along to your own songs. It's really uncomfortable, especially when someone's got a camera in your face, and it's not something that we're all a bit older and a bit past all that shit. So
Yeah,
we wanted something that we weren't too visible, and it was kind of more silhouette stuff. And
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I think and a bit of a dark vibe to it, hence all the red lighting and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And the
So,
Cursed Rebirth one with the animated thing, how did that come together? Like, is that the AI animation or something? It's
yeah.
come out really well. Like, it looks cool. Yeah, yeah,
Thanks, man. It's
yeah.
that was a bit controversial for us. We had a uh what do you call it? Like a debut for the track for the single. Was supposed to come out on a website as a release, which is what you normally do with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they refused it at the very last minute because of the AI
Jesus. Wow. Yeah.
controversy at the moment. So, it would have been good to have some notice, but they just literally said we don't support AI art. We only support real artists, and it's like okay, fair enough. It's like so do we, you
Hmm.
know. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a guy called Tombstones and UFOs, and he just does this stuff because he loves it, and he does some really cool videos. And when I saw that, I thought that it'd be something really cool. Like we didn't really want to do another film clip with us just doing the same thing again. So we
Yeah.
thought, well, like something that's a bit more interesting than just having a static image of the album cover for
Hmm.
a release for YouTube and stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just something different. Yeah, I really like it. I don't really care about the controversy and all the AI and stuff. So
Yeah.
um, I think
That's
it's
cool.
cool.
Like, Voivod did it as well. Have you seen that one? It's all.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Voivod did it.
Yeah.
Meshuggah,
Yeah.
they've got
Yeah.
one as well.
Yeah.
It's the way of the future, and I understand where people are coming from with the whole AI thing. It's
Mm.
support real artists, but
Yeah.
I think you can do both, and as long as they're not plagiarizing like 100%, then I feel like it's just
Mm.
another form of art, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so if you don't mind, what's
Yeah.
the process? Like, how much? Like, what do you
How do
input?
they?
Yeah. Like, how does that kind of come
Yeah,
together?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess probably the easiest way to explain it is: have you ever heard of Midjourney?
I don't know.
It's a word prompt, so it's an AI program,
Yeah.
and you basically prompt it with words and descriptions, and then it will give you an image based off that,
Yeah. Okay.
pulling from images from the internet. So
Right.
um, when they do an animated one, it's literally doing that thousands of times, and
Mm.
then putting the image together like an animation reel, like stop motion kind of thing.
Okay.
So it takes quite a bit of time and work to put into it. I think where the issue is that the artists feel like that some of the images are being taken from real artwork, which they probably
Mm.
are. But to me, I feel like AI art at the moment anyway, it has a very distinctive look. You can pick it. You can see the
Yeah.
static images. You can see
Yeah.
that it's artificial. And there's a big difference between using a real artist and AI. And for things like album covers and t-shirts, and for most of our stuff, we'll always use a real artist. You just
Mm.
can't beat that. I don't think
Mm.
it's yeah. But that's how they put it together anyway. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, man. It is an odd thing because, like, obviously, at some point, that sort of perfect looking art that looks
Mm,
computery anyway. I guess at some point an artist did that, but it wouldn't take them that long. You know what I mean? Like they're using a tool,
yeah,
and it's just another
yeah,
version of that. I guess like it's but
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To
I don't know.
create the image, yeah, it doesn't take any. it takes almost next to no time to create
Mm,
an image. You can put words in, press enter, and then it'll render an image for you.
mm,
So there's no skill in terms of creating the image and artistically like painting or drawing or doing digital art or anything like that.
mm,
So it's a bit of a it can cause a bit of a stir, I guess, especially for artists who spend a lot of time doing something. There's a fear that they're going to be replaced, but
mm.
all of that's been around. The music industry's been dealing with that for a long time.
Mm.
It started with DJs, mixing tracks together that weren't theirs, and
Yeah,
um, to say that you shouldn't use artificial intelligence in art is kind of ridiculous because every recording program and editing plugin and everything these days it's all digital, right?
no, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I got a fucking digital drum kit right here. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just it's like it's just a fucking tool. That's all it is at the
yeah.
end
That's right. Yeah, no, that's
of the
cool, man. Yeah. So talking about videos, is there any like when you say we want to do this video, what's the guidance like? Are you sort of like we want it to look a bit like this video, or like how does that
day.
kind of work?
Well, we did 3 videos for the album. We did
Mm,
the film clip where we were in it, and then there's the we did a lyric video for Great
yeah.
Mind,
Hmm.
and that's actually the album cover art. And when they do those sort of things, the artist Giannis sends us the artwork, and it's in Photoshop layers. And so you've got layers if you pull it apart, there's different layers on top.
Yeah.
And you send that to the guy who made our lyric video, and he'll just pull them apart and use them as to suit the
Mm,
video clip
yeah,
amongst the
that's cool.
lyrics and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So
Mm,
the artwork was already the artwork from the album cover, and the AI one with the guy who put that together. I gave him the lyrics, sort of gave him some themes, and he just put it together, and that's what came out. So
yeah, it's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we do sort of go for a bit of an aesthetic um, with everything. So like the album covers, if you look at the 2 album covers next to each other, it's actually the same, I guess, fictional universe.
Okay.
There's elements that tie in from the album that tie into the EP,
Mm,
and yeah, it's just a bit of a vibe that we sort of go for that we think suits the music anyway.
yeah, that's cool. Does that tie in lyrically as well? That whole kind of universe and vibe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
So the lyrics, Richard does all the lyrics, and he deliberately sort of is not too descriptive with the lyrics. It's kind of more of a general, vague sense of what of um, something that's going on or something dark that's happening, and it sort of leaves a bit of room for the imagination to do the rest of the work. Uh,
mm,
I think Richard and I were talking about this in some of our favorite albums growing up. The lyrics were kind of loose, and they
mm.
left a lot to the imagination. And that's when you're a kid sitting there reading the lyrics and the liner notes and listening to the music, and your imagination is just going crazy.
Hmm.
It's one of the best memories I have, and sort of something we wanted to try and recreate with this.
That's cool. Yeah, I can see you got Carcass and Cannibal Corpse behind you there. What's is there anything specifically you remember, like lyrics, bands that sort of did that for you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Edge of Sanity. One of my favorite albums is the Spectral Sorrows. It's just one of their earlier albums, and the lyrics on that they're kind of really dark and gothicy, but they're not very specific. And when you sit down and listen to that music, it's very visual. Like for me, mentally anyway, it conjures a lot of ideas and thoughts. And probably another one is Entombed, Clandestine. The lyrics on that are very very much like that as well. Um, they're descriptive, but they're not. They leave a lot of space, you know, and you can just, your mind can go a bit crazy with that, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. What
Yeah.
music? What about music wise? More recently, like what have you been into lately?
Um, I listen to all sorts of stuff. Obviously, metal and death metal specifically is probably my favorite
Yeah.
uh, genre. Obviously, uh, yeah. Lately, I don't know. I go through phases where I just listen to heaps of music, And then I'll do some recording, and then I'll just stop listening to music for a while. I just like I need a break.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
mean, when you're listening to masters and stuff, and you're just listening to things 100 times over just to make sure that little bit of bass is not too loud in the mix or something. And I just find after a while my ears need a bit of a break. So that's where I've been at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Just taking a bit of a break. But probably the last thing I was listening to heaps. Um, oh shit! You know what? It's probably I've been going through a bit of a Pantera resurgence
Oh,
myself.
nice. Yeah, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Just I recently brought Vulgar Display on vinyl and Cowboys from Hell, so I've been listening to that a bit lately.
Yeah, that's cool.
And,
Yeah, I was just
and,
with
and
mate.
Napalm. Yeah, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you go, mate. Napalm, man. Yeah,
Yeah, Napalm Death as well. Yeah,
yeah,
so I've
yeah.
been listening to a bit of that lately.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
just earlier today I was talking to a mate how it's I think it's the 5 minutes alone video where you can see like Dimebag strings just fucking waving like this.
Oh
Like
yeah,
it's so intense, man. Like,
yeah.
that's
It's
good shit,
awesome,
man.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that film clip, man, because that's such a cool film clip. They've got the camera on the headstock, and you
Mm,
see the string, the whammy bar, and the strings go loose, and
yeah.
comes back in tune again. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, man. It's cool. So yeah, so the album's just come out. And you got the videos and everything. What's next for Ashen? Are you guys working towards something? You got shows, that sort of thing? Like what's the plan?
Yeah, yeah. At the moment, we've been working so hard to get this out, and we did some shows over east, and we sort of did some supports as well. We supported Skeletal Remains when they were here.
Yeah, yeah.
And played a show over east with them as well, and yeah. So we had a really busy year last year, and
Mhm.
getting the album finished and getting it all ready, and it's a lot of hard work actually. And then now that it's out, we've kind of all just gone, blah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I think, yeah, definitely you see what later in the year brings. Be cool to
Mhm.
get over east and play some more shows. But we'll just see how it goes and see how the album goes as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool, man. No, that's good. Look,
Yeah.
Shannon, thanks heaps for your time, man. It's been good to chat. And yeah,
No worries, man.
I'm sure I'll run into you soon at a gig or something, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're local, are you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm in Perth. Yeah, I was at
Sick.
Mayhem last night. Yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I couldn't go to that. How was it?
Oh, the best. I mean, that's the fourth time they've been here. They're always good show. But last night, I
Yeah,
don't know, man. They did a Death Crush set, all these like cool little
yeah.
different sets. It was awesome, man. It was a great show.
So
Yeah,
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 I saw some footage online. It looked fucking awesome, man. I
yeah, yeah,
would love to have been there. But,
yeah, yeah. No, it's a good time. Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Well,
Cool.
if I see you around, man, say hello.
Yeah, definitely, man. Same,
Yeah,
Yeah, good to
have a
say.
chat.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Thanks,
Cool.
Shannon. Have a good one, man.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Yeah, you too, man.